Hi, everyone. I'm Debbie Woods. I've been with LifeVantage sharing activation for 9.5 years. And today I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have learned over the years that has helped me serve my customers better. We're going to focus today on the art of identifying customer pain points and tailoring product recommendations to suit their specific needs. So, your goal is going to be to help your customers achieve their health and wellness goals. What I've found is in order to serve customers best, you must understand what it is about their health, or maybe their finances actually, that they would like to change or to improve upon. How are you going to do that? Well, you need to dive a little bit deeper. You need to ask some questions. You need to get to know them a little bit better. You need to ask them the why, the what, the where, the how, and the when. Because understanding your customers' pain points, and the only way you're going to find out those pain points is by asking questions. But understanding the pain points is essential for personalizing a solution for them. So you need to ask the questions. You need to ask the right questions. You need to get them to talk about what it is that's bothering them. You need to show true concern and interest, a genuine interest in getting to know them and what they're struggling with. You want them to tell you about their daily struggles. You want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? You need to look into their eyes, let them know that you're listening and that you care, because people can feel that. So ask the questions and let them talk. And then when they talk, you need to listen. Listening is just as important as asking the questions, because listening is the key to uncovering their true needs. You need to be empathetic. You need to actively listen, which means ask open ended questions. So, not just yes or no questions. The how, the what, the when, the where, the why, all those are open ended questions. You want to reflect on what it is that they tell you and validate their concerns. Let them know that you hear them. Let them know that you can relate, that you understand, and that you are understanding what they are saying to you. You also want to observe their nonverbal cues. Are they grabbing an arm or a leg that's bothering them, or their back? Are they like overwhelmed and they're grabbing their head like, I just can't anymore? Watch their nonverbal cues, and it will also give you a little insight as to what it is that's bothering them. So, what are some of the common health pain points? Sleep's a big one. A lot of people don't get good sleep or enough sleep. They have trouble falling asleep. They wake up too many times. They can't get back to sleep. It's all about restless sleep. So, that's a big one. Aging concerns. Boy, that's a full gamut. People contribute or attribute everything to aging. Their skin is dull and gray and no liveliness to it. Their hair is brittle and breaking or falling out. um, they've got wrinkles and wrinkles and wrinkles. And people just write that off as aging, but it still bothers them, right? But they don't know what to do about it. And maybe it's a mobility issue. Maybe they just aren't getting around as much as they used to. They can't do their daily activities, like they would like, even maybe walking the dog or cleaning things up around their house. Um, Going out to eat, getting in and out of the car, those things are all concerning to people as they age, and they'll let you know what this is. Um, Weight issues. Oh my gosh, everyone has weight issues. They're either have gained weight and they can't lose it, they're making poor food choices, they're doing late night snacking, they've got the food noise. Constantly talking to them about food, food, food. What are you going to eat? When are you going to eat next? And have sweets cravings. Another issue is fatigue. Oh my gosh, people feel sluggish. They lack motivation. They have no energy. They're tired during the day. Actually, talk about taking a nap during the day. These are common pain points for them. How about headaches, migraines, joint aches and pains, and muscle soreness? And all of those things are making their mobility, their movement a little bit harder. And stress. Mental wellness is a big thing. Look at the picture of that guy with all the post-it notes all over his face. Like, doesn't that just tell you he is overwhelmed? Like, oh my gosh, how do I stop this? I don't know what to do. People, too much to deal with. And when that happens, they can't focus. They have trouble focusing. They tend to forget things. They're just anxious. Anxiety sets in. They're overwhelmed, and then of course that leads to poor sleep as well. So those are just some of the common issues that people deal with. I've got some scripts here that I'm going to share with you that are designed to help spark meaningful conversations, to build trust with people, and then to introduce them to LifeVantage products as a natural solution for their needs. So, one of the questions you might ask is, what health goals are you struggling with? When it comes to your health, what are there any specific goals or challenges that you're currently working on? I'd love to help you find a solution that fits your needs. How about this one? Are there any specific areas in your health where you're looking to see improvement? Let's chat about how we can tackle them together. So you want them to identify what it is that they're struggling with. Like the previous picture. Is it their sleep? Is it their anxiety? Is it pains, aches, their energy level, their weight, their sleep? All of those things. You want them to identify those things for you. So you have to ask them, what specific things are you struggling with? And then the next question you might want to ask them is, when did this issue start? So just out of curiosity, when did you first notice whatever the issue is? The lack of energy, trouble with sleep. Let them know that understanding their journey can help you in recommending the best product or approach for their situation. Ask them to think back. When did this specific thing begin for them? When did they notice all of the feeling of overwhelm, or maybe the headaches started, or just having no energy and wanting to nap? Knowing more about their experience will help to guide you in choosing a solution for them that's going to work. Another question is, why do they want to improve in this area? Oh my gosh, this could be a big thing because they might be living with this issue for a long time, but maybe someone brought it to their attention. Maybe somebody at work was critical about their mood or their lack of energy, or they just aren't being productive anymore. They're constantly complaining about being tired, or complaining to other coworkers. Or maybe they have something coming up in their life, like a wedding or a holiday, somebody's graduation, something that they want to look better for. They want their appearance to look better. They want to drop the weight. They just want to be able to make it through without being tired and stressed. They want to be able to enjoy life. So you might want to ask them, what's motivating you to focus on improving this specific issue? What is driving your desire to improve with your weight, or at this time, or with you're struggling to focus? What is it that somebody noticed it, or that you are finally noticing it, or you've just had enough? You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then I always like to ask people, imagine how great it would feel when this issue is no longer holding you back. Like, just think about that. When you can have better mobility, when you aren't tired anymore, when you can enjoy just the daily quality of your life, it's just going to add so much value to their to their everyday existence, right? How are they going to feel when this issue is gone? So let's explore some options that can help get them to that space. Then you also want to ask them, how have they tried to solve this issue before? Like, you'd like to hear about what they've tried so far to address this specific issue. Like, we want to be able to explore some options that might work better for you, but we need to know what it is that you have done. Have you tried other supplements? Have you tried exercise or physical therapy? Have you tried caffeine or energy drinks? What's your skincare routine? Are you a person that goes down the holistic path, or are you a pharmaceutical person? You might want to find that out from them. Maybe just an herbal tea would help. Just, clearing out their mind, doing some yoga. You want to find out what steps they've taken in the past to help tackle this issue and then build on what maybe has worked for them or find something new that could be even more effective. So, oops. So the other question is, where do they need the most support? What happens often is people feel like they are all alone in their struggles. They don't have any support from family members or from a spouse. And it would be very comforting to know that they are not alone. So you can tell them, or ask them, where do they feel like they need the most support? Because we have great community in our private Facebook groups where people share their journeys and their tips. Would you like me to add you? Just letting them know that we have a group where people share the same issues and what they have found has helped them with using some of our products. So everyone's journey is different. Let them know that you'd like to offer some extra support for them. And we've got a great group of people that share success stories and advice. And I'd like to invite you to join that group. And boy, maybe that's just what they needed. So we've got our two great groups, the My Life Vantage Story and Activated Weight Loss, where you can add them to that group and they can kind of peruse around and read about other people's experiences and just know that they're not alone and then see what's possible. And then what you want to do is you want to match their um, needs to the right products. You want to pick the right products for what it is that they're struggling with, whether it's energy, whether it's aging, whether it's, their skin and their muscles. It's their gut issues. It's, their hair. We've got the right products and we can help deal with lots of different issues, but you need to understand what our products do and be able to explain a little bit to them how this might help them provide a solution, a natural solution, something that is clean and non-toxic for them. Like, is that important to them? Share with them how our products are on the Think Dirty app and how clean they are. And that's important to some people, maybe not so much to other people. But I think nowadays more people would like to know that these things are not going to add to their toxic load, right? They've got good, clean scores on Think Dirty, zeros and ones. So you need to find out, is it mental clarity that they want? Recommend Axio for that. Is it their gut issues? Is it weight? You're going to want to talk to them about the fat burn and the GLP-1 mind body product that we have that just came out, and getting them on a good probiotic and the prebiotic. If it's about their skin and their wrinkles and their joints and just their um, strength, their body strength, you're going to want to go with the collagen. But of course, all of these are add-ons to what we all know everyone needs. And that's because most all issues that people are dealing with are rooted in inflammation. Inflammation is like the root cause of over 300 diseases and conditions. So, the first thing you're going to want to recommend to them is our flagship product, Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And then it's the other things that you can tag on top of that that's going to help them get their best results. And that's what the whole goal is, right? We want to help improve their sleep. You're going to want to put them on NRF2. You want less aches and pains and managing stress. Pick the right product for them and get them started. So, for long term success, I recommend that you follow up with them and check in regularly. When they first get their products, I like to give people the evaluation sheet so they can see where they are starting at. What's their starting point? And then after 30 days, we'll check with them after they're taking the products for a week and make sure they're taking it the right way and that they're taking it right. And then follow up with them after 30 days, see how they're doing. Maybe you might need to adjust your recommendation. Maybe you need to add the prebiotic with the probiotic, or maybe you need to add NRF1 and NAD to their Protandim NRF2. Talk to the people and see how they're doing. And of course, you want to make sure that you add them to the Team Heart Facebook groups. The other thing I'll say is that when you talk to people, make sure that you not only offer the solution of our products to help them, but you also want to offer the business opportunity, because here's why. Whether they say it or not, finances is usually an issue for people. And even if you are recommending products to them, you know that they're thinking about, how can I afford these? But if you let them know that there's a business opportunity where they can get more income, they can actually make enough money to pay for their products. And that is going to help alleviate some of their stress, right? And some of their other health things are maybe even rooted in the financial problems that they have. So offer people the products, but don't forget to offer the business opportunity to everyone, because finances, you just never know when that is the root of what some of their symptoms are. So do both the products and the business opportunity. And I think if you follow some of these tips, that you're going to have good success with your customers. And I thank you.